Oxfordshire Sports Online.
Ready to go down the slope. It will be Northley in their traditional yellow shirts, black shorts and yellow socks against the all royal blue with a white flash across the shoulders of AFC Totton, who will be playing up the hill away to the goal on my right hand side, the clubhouse end. The referee is a Dominic Wooden. He hasn't travelled too far today, just checking with his linesman, and all ready to go. Stuart Hole back in the back four. Standing over the ball in the middle of the park, it will be Northley's kickoff. And at the top is Ingram Sanders and Elliot Osborne-Ricketts ready to take that ball and drive down the slope. The slope a big factor here, Mike?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I think probably for me, I'd play up it first half, going at half-time 0-0, and then all guns blazing second half.
Little flick with the outside of the boot. Chasing onto it now is Moulan. Moulan's on the far side. Can he step inside his man? He's got inside Hole. He's breaking forward. A fine shot. And in the end, that dipped and swerved, and it's palmed away by Bullman going away to his right-hand side. Back in the days of black and white when I started off as a left-back, believe it or not, you know, if I had a Whip It Willie, as I'd call him, I just had to meet him at the halfway line, just for the once, just to try and... I think it would have been called a reducer now, but that's sort of gone out the armoury of the left back.
Well, you
now.
can you? You do it, you're off the pitch. Yeah. So, you know, hit him hard and hit him early. In the old days, you just can't do it. It's very frustrating sometimes. But I think probably the change of emphasis on allowing attacking players to be attacking players is great, but it definitely takes some of the honesty out of the game.
As the ball breaks, and on the far side, Bowles goes forwards, rolls it into the feet there of Ingram. Ingram back to goal, plays out left-hand side now. Woodley onto the football, chance to take on the full-back on this near side. Hibbard goes past Hibbard, he's into the box, left foot across the face of goal. Good clearance there inside his own 6-yard box just before Bowles come on it at the back. On it, Frio clears his lines, and that was can they play it? The ball's been given away though on the far side by Blackburn. Sanders runs it past two, runs into third, comes out. Bowles with a shot. And if I'm honest with you, Bowles is inside the penalty area. He's about 12 yards out, and he's tried to... I'm not sure if he's tried to dink it or hit it. He's sort of got a bit of both.
I think he got caught in two minds. I mean, that is the best chance. I mean, Kieran Sanders has made a run, got outnumbered on the box. It's just dropped to Bowles inside the box. It's got to be a low one across the keeper, and it was a high one the other side of the keeper. He just, for me, it's not poor technique. He just didn't make his mind up quick enough.
No,
and I would imagine Bowles doesn't get many.
The shape to really want to run with some of these live wires today, I don't think, Hibbert, but he's solid. He's
solid. That you're being very polite at the moment, aren't you, Selfy?
I'm always polite because when you have a frame that is so svelte like me, he who casts the first stone, you can't really turn around and say, he's sturdy. Sturdy, a good word?
Yeah, very good. It is. I think probably in the old days that was the normal shape for a fullback in the old days.
Quite possibly, because I think if you go horse racing, it's called carrying a few pounds overweight. Ball flicked out by Sanders, far side now. It's Ingram, drives it across. Sanders with a chance. Side foot comes in, 7 yards out, puts it wide of Mothorpe's right hand post. All of a sudden, a couple of glimmers of the white sticks for Northley, but they're not taking them again.
No, good chance, good play. It's funny actually because they've had all the ball without creating much, and then what they've not necessarily allowed Totton to do, but Totton have attacked, then lost it. So Totton are pushing men forwards, and that's probably where Northley at their most dangerous. So they're able to outnumber the Tottons. Yeah, so I'm not sure it's a game plan that's so come on. It's just the way the game's panned out. Caught them on a break, good little ball across the box, and Kieran should at least make the keeper make a save, at least.
It's come across him. It's come in from his right-hand side, and he sort of swept it with the ball wide of the post. Good head down there by Ingram. Ingram finds Sanders. Goal. From distance. That's a goal. What a good goal.
Fantastic
goal that was. He's hit that from fully 45 yards.
Fantastic goal.
He really has. Absolutely. He's just brought it down. Cushioned header from Ingram, and then 45 yards out. One touch, and he's hit a dipping volley over the head of Mothorpe from 45 yards. That is a good goal.
Well, I mean, it is a fantastic goal. It was just one of those, it's dropped. It's just set up nicely for him. I mean, we're a long way from the action here, but it did look at least 40 yards. You can't blame the goalkeeper. And probably over the period that we've seen, 25 minutes, probably justified, I would imagine, Northley to be one up currently.
Just taking what we've seen, and clearance there. The referee's let it go. It was blocked, and on the far side now, the referee is going to come in for some severe criticism. Mothorpe tried to drop kick the clearance, and it was blocked. by Sanders, and a ball spun away far side to Bowles. Bowles has gone through and brought down by Blackburn, the left back, and all of a sudden referee Wooden is surrounded by Totton players. Your take on that? I didn't think I did seem to leave the ground to block it.
It was a free kick.
Yeah.
You know, if that's on Match of the Day Saturday night, it's a free kick and a booking for the striker. For some unknown reason, the referee waves play on, and then I don't think the fullback meant it, but I think Bowles was just a little bit too quick for him, and he's gone in late and brought the lad down on the corner of the box. I just don't understand why referees do this. They just give themselves aggro for no reason. Give a free kick, Sanders knows it's a free kick, everyone else knows it's a free kick, and then the goalie kicks the ball up the pitch. Instead, he's surrounded by every player on the pitch, he's brandishing yellow cards, and now obviously Tottenham have got to defend a free kick from a wide area.
Yeah, you don't want to give away cheap possession in the range 18-yard box. You're down the slope, you're desperate to see it out to the break to get yourself in, trailing by a goal to nil, very good goal to nil. Northley have got a chance here. They will look at this and think we've got a little bit of a get out of jail free card here. If we can get it in the old mixer, to use a cliche, and it drops out the sky, we might be able to toe poke this in and go in 2 up, and that really will be quite some blow for Totton to take. The free kick is going to be swung in. I'm just looking across there, it's a bit doomy on the far side. It's not Woodley. I think it could, in fairness, be...
That must be Hopkins taking that with his left foot.
Yeah, he's shaping up with the left back. Just checking as I went through. We are into stoppage time at the end of the first half. Northern leading by a goal to nil. And the referee's going to keep his long line. It's whipped in towards keeper. Oh, and a chance at the near post. Just gone on it a little bit too early there. He holds his head in his hands. I'm trying to see who that is. I think it's Stuart Hull that's got through, or is it Andy Gunn at the top of the park? I'm trying to see. It's a long way away. I think that is Gunn that's got across his man, and he's headed it wide of the near post, but a good delivery, fizzed in there. Yeah,
Mike Hopkins got a lovely left foot, but if I was a referee now, I'd just let the keeper kick it and blow up and get everyone in the dressing room, because...
Yeah, it's a few words. He's still copping a bit of flack.
It's just ridiculous. It is ridiculous what he's done there. There you go. At least he's done that sensibly. I mean, he's had nothing to referee really in the half. A little skirmish in the bottom corner with McNish and the fullback. But then he's just made his own problems there by not giving a free kick for a block on the goalkeeper's clearance.
Well, it's 1-0 at half-time down here at the A-Plan Ensham Park. Northley lead by a goal to nil. Fine strike from 40 yards, not 40 years, that's when I started. 40 yards there by Kieran Sanders after a cushion header down by Connor Ingram. It's been a tight affair. Northley having the lion's share of possession when we... Well, join us back here. Both sides are out. Totton in their all-blue kit will be playing down the slope. They trail by a goal to nil. Mike Ford is alongside me, the former Oxfordshire United player and indeed Oxford City manager. Mike, quick words on that first 45 for you?
It threatened to get going without really doing it. I think Northley are happy for 1-0. I think Totton are probably happy for 1-0 as well. Down the slope, I think probably the slope will make a difference. Next goal's massive, as it always is in a game of football. Totton get it, game on. Northley get it, really tough for Totton. And we'll just see how Northley approach it. Same as probably. But like I said, down the slope with Totton pushing on, it might benefit them and hit them a bit more on the break.
Up on the halfway line, Sanders got time to run now at an Offrio. Little ball through. Ingram tries to get into the box, gets across Hibbert. He's on his left peg, fires it low. It's 2-0. He's finished. An excellent goal there by Ingram. He seems to be going away from goal in his left peg, and not normally a favoured one, but he's managed to pirouette and fire it low past the keeper Mothorpe for 2-0, and that was a good finish, Mike.
Lovely finish. Totton looked to break. And then when Northley put the ball forward, I mean, there must have been 50 yards of space. The sitting midfield player for Totton, who got himself cut at a pitch, couldn't get back. Good bit of play, lovely pass, and a very nice, calm finish.
The right back for Totton goes long from one side of the halfway line, looking for Mouland at the top. Headed away by Hopkin, only as far as Hurst. Hurst gets it back to Mouland. Mouland goes down and a spot kick comes. That's just what Northley didn't want. Mouland's got himself in behind Hopkin on the far side and gone down, and the referee Wooden's pointed straight to the spot. A long way away for us to see if there's contact, but it doesn't seem a great deal of argument, apart from Bowles, who's on the opposite side to the referee now.
It's amazing, because I was just going to say, commentator's curse, I cannot see any way back into the game for Totton, because they don't have great legs. There's no real pace in the team. All of a sudden, penalty, and then Northley, if he scores, Northley get edgy, it gives a boost to Totton, then all of a sudden the game is a completely different animal. I've got a sneaking feeling he's going to save it.
Well, it's Gilbert. He looks a pretty confident young man, the central midfielder, 6 emblazoned on his back. Bullman stands in the middle of his goal, pogoing on the spot. The referee Wooden making sure everybody is outside, no encroachment. It's going to be Gilbert against Bullman. Here comes Gilbert. Gilbert fires it into the back of the net. 3/4 of the way at the post. Bullman went the right way. It's 2-1, and just what you don't want. Why is it with football, any walk of life, 2-0, as soon as a goal comes back in, nerves come in. 1-0, you seem to be quite happy you're in front, you've got something to hang your hat on, but 2-0 is just a horrible score sometimes to be in front.
You don't know whether to stick or twist. You know, do we go and get a third? Do we sit on the 2-0? If you go and get a third, you concede. If you sit on it, you concede. It's a difficult one. I'd still expect Northfleet to see the game out. I still expect Northfleet to score again. But it's, I know it's a penalty, but it's the old Achilles heel, isn't it? They've conceded again tonight in a game, really. They've been totally dominant.
And Bowles now finds Osborne Ricketts in the Totton centre circle, but he's been robbed by 2. And Gilbert has just fouled Osborne Ricketts. Osborne Ricketts is going in the book. For a man that's looked relatively calm all the way through here, he's just had a little lash because he's run into trouble in the middle of the park. I think that's more out of anger that nobody else is helping him out in the middle of the park. He's run into a wall of 4. Gilbert's robbed him, and he's had a real flash out.
It's a straight red.
And you can see why that has happened, because he's just turned and kicked, hasn't he?
It was. It's funny. I thought he'd get away with a yellow.
Yeah, I did as well. I didn't see that one coming.
But I can see why the referee's done it. It was reckless. He just lost his head for just that split second. Took a kick at the lad, and it wasn't nasty. The fella's not hurt. It's just the intent of what he did. But again, it's from 55 minutes, 2-0 up, calm, controlled, winning the game comfortably. They're down to 10 men. It's 2-1, and
I feel for Osborne Ricketts because he received the ball and he was crowded by four Totton players. He's done it right under the referee's nose, which makes it worse because he has just turned around, and out of petulance of being caught in possession by 4, he's just kicked the player. Of course.
Well, as he's walking off, he's probably thinking straight away, "What have I done? How stupid was I?" We've all done it. You're not going to point any fingers. Hopefully his mates will get him out of it by getting them the result.
Doesn't find Aaron Woodley. It's now about players holding the ball up, taking their men on and trying to create and get others involved. They are down to 10. They are leading by 2 goals to win. Kieran Sanders has just dived into a challenge there, and a second challenge. And Kieran Sanders has got to be very careful there, because that was 2 on the spin. I heard a little groan there with a little bit of a stamp challenge first off.
He's fortunate, but again, it's someone's got to get a grip. The skipper, if he's the leader and the experienced one, he's got to get a grip of Kieran Sanders. He's got to get a grip of his team and say, "Hang on a minute, just remember where we are. We're winning this game 2-1 because we've been really good.
Yeah.
Be disciplined, be sensible." And just see, because they'll have a little bit of impetus, will Totton, and just see them off for the next 10-15 minutes and see if we can nick one to go and win the game 3-1.
Sanders plays it near side to Else. Else back to Sanders, halfway line. Northfleet yellow shirts playing up the slope. Little ball over the top. Woodley's got in behind Bridges. He's now going to try and take on Flukes. Rolls it back to the edge of the box. Then comes to McNish. Low. Oh, just wide from 17 yards. Keeper Mothorpe's gone away to his right-hand side. I thought that was going to nest in the bottom corner, and it's gone wide of the right-hand post.
Yeah, I did too. Callum's a good finisher, calm in front of goal. So we'll see. But at the moment, you're sort of comfortable with them. They're defending well. They've not gifted anything to the other team to give the other team an incentive.
Well,
and we will see. But last time I mentioned this about them never going to score, they scored. So
you talk about them not gifting. They've given Totton a penalty, and they've given themselves a mountain to climb by it. Osborne Ricketts having a daft swipe at a player and getting a straight red, so they've given them a little bit of a helping hand into this game. One of the things that history shows, 6 games these two sides have contested, and all 6 have been won, 3 at home and 3 away by Totton. Ball into the box, chance here, spins and shoots. Mulan comes out, Hurst with a terrible shot, and that almost turned into a great ball. But so a little bit of history against it. You mentioned as well, Northfleet can't keep a clean sheet. They're looking for big players. There is that thing, right? Totton, you're now the Totton manager. I'm turning it on its head. Conversely, you're the Totton manager. What are you saying from the bench? What are you looking for now?
I just don't see them having enough bodies forward. Let the back four deal with their front 3 that Northfleet are attempting to keep up the pitch, and just push the other front 4 on 2 for 2 in midfield and push people on. They looked at like strikers are playing too wide apart. One's trying to stop the fullback coming out. So whenever it goes up, there's an aerial challenge. There's nobody anywhere near the ball. They normally keep picking it up. So for me, get the ball forwards a bit quicker and get people up the pitch.
Into the feet of the man comes short Jennings. Back it goes now to Onofrio down the line. Hibbard with a chance to go further down the line. Who gets in behind? They've got a chance here to square it back. Edge of the box, there's a chance. Trigger is pulled and it goes wide of the goal. And I think it's been saved by Bournemouth.
Good save.
And that was saved. We're quite low down here and that was right behind the chairman's head. I couldn't see that.
Well, if anyone's going to get in the way, it probably ought to be the chairman. He's probably entitled to. But I'm still trying to work out why it's definitely 10v10.
It is definitely 10v10. So they must have played all three when Gilbert got the injury.
But they've dealt with having a man short really, really well.
I think there was a chance, we were worried at one stage there was going to be the need of a head to calm things down. The referee says that's enough, and the Gilbert head injury just seemed to take the sting out of the Totton and the whole moment. Chance for everybody to have a word and say calm down. The final whistle's gone here, and down at the A-Plan Ensham Park ground, Northley have won by 2-1. 25th minute, superlative dipping volley from 40 yards from Kieran Sanders, and then in the 55th minute, a great break. Sanders found the man at the top of the park, the forward Ingram, who stepped away to his left-hand side before rolling it in for 2-0. But then there was a moment of madness as first Moulander got the opposite side of the fullback. Hopkin got brought down, penalty. Totton in it 2-1 shortly after. A little bit of trouble for Elliot Osborne-Ricketts. Got the ball down inside the centre circle, turned into a wall of four, got the ball robbed off him. A little bit of tempestuousness came out and he kicked out at Gilbert and got a straight red. So Northley had to face a final half an hour, 35 minutes with 10 men, but they done well. They shut up shop and they've got away with a fine 2-1 victory. Mike, that's the tale of the tape. You tell us a story of what you've seen from a manager's perspective of that night.
Best team won. Best team could have won by more. You know, they've only conceded a penalty, so in open play they've not conceded, which has obviously been an issue for them in the first few weeks of the season, so that's another positive for Mark G and his team. They were untroubled when they went down to 10 men. If I'm looking at the league table, Totton don't look like a team that probably are going to win it, based on only I've seen them once. I've seen Northley 3 times now. They are as good on their day as anybody in the division. But it just does beg the question, if you can beat Totton, who are due to win, if they win and go top, how can you draw with Bishop's Cleeve, who lose 7-0 on Saturday, having been 3 up? So for me, it's not about ability with Northley. It's probably about mental application to see the game out and win games when it's crappy and horrible and bitty and the pitches ain't great. Are they able to win end games 1-0 or 2-1?
Oxfordshire Sports Online.